privilege this morning to be introducing Ron Sinclair, back from his vacation and all ready to give us a great speech this morning. The title of his speech is Justice for All. Ron is the owner of the Star Cleaning System, a premier commercial and residential cleaning service located here in South Orange County. He moved to Orange County in 1980 and from a job transfer. In his spare time, he likes to participate in marathons and triathlons, but he's sort of keeping that in the background now that he's getting a little older. Once he be as old as me, then maybe try it again. He loves the beach, the ocean, dancing, drama, music, California coastline, and he's lived in California, Northern California, Southern California for 25 years. The objects of his speech today, number 4, is to develop an entertaining, dramatic talk about experiences or an incident. Include vivid, imaginary characters and dialogue. Deliver the talk in an entertaining manner. And I give you Ron.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Appreciate you guys getting up this morning, and happy Valentine's Day. I'd like to show love and affection to everyone here. And my speech is actually called Justice for All. And the reason I say that is basically because everyone knows I did go on a cruise. And the final day of the cruise, and the final 3 days of the cruise, were actually going to be in Egypt. So it started on January 21st. January 24th. And we got on the ship, and immediately the TV was on the ship. We could actually see TV was what was going on in Egypt. And I really felt that it's not a big deal because basically in Washington there's always someone in protesting. The same thing in Laguna Beach. There's always, because you can permit you protest. So it's like, no big deal. We'll get there and we'll just get off the boat and we'll take our cars. We're gonna stay overnight, go to the Sphinx, because you'll actually arrive in Alexander. Go to the Sphinx and the pyramids, and then go down the Nile the night and come back on the ship. So it was the highlight of the trip. But every day it got worse. And then I realized that January 25th is a very big day, not because I think they had, they have a national holiday, and Anwar Sadat was shot early, many years ago, because he actually had a peace treaty with Israel and other places. So he was actually, the military killed him. Now that comes out today. But basically, what I want to say is justice for all. We were probably 127 miles or knots from Egypt, and at that point, the captain came on and said, "We're not going to go to Egypt due to the writing. We're going to Istanbul, Turkey." It was but at the same time, we were looking at television all the time. It was all over the ship. And you have to understand, as an American and never being out of the country, to all of a sudden realize that they had actually turned off the internet. You could not get to the internet, stop texting. You couldn't do the ATM, but we could see things on television. Basically, we saw good things that were, there were some people complaining and saying, America's backing all of this. What is Obama doing? Obama, yes, you can. Now you can. And Egypt, help us get our country. And Americans need to leave. And it was just getting worse and worse. And then, as Debbie was following me somewhere, I wrote on my Facebook page the night before we did that, you would wait 34 years and 1 week to overthrow the government. You at least wait 1 more week. But I didn't sleep that night because I know that they had connections to the internet. They could see everything that people were doing. And it was a bloodbath in the square, actually. People were riding doing camels, there was the military, and it made me realize, and the reason I would say that because I grew up practically as a Baptist, from a Baptist to actually went to another religion of Jehovah's Witness, and then another, studying a lot of things, even Muslim, but then to realize that how free we were in this country, how we could practice any religion, do anything we want to. The Muslim Brotherhoods want to take over Egypt. Does America have a lot to do with Egypt? Yes, we pay them a lot of money. Mubarak is richer than Bill Gates. People didn't know that. So he has gold bars and everything. I don't know why he wants to even stay here. But the freedom that we have here is amazing. If your son went to school and said Mubarak was, a horse's butt, you would be arrested the next day and put in jail. It's a dictatorship, which I didn't know that either. That was amazing to see. So when you hear the placing of the flag, now you understand that, you know, I pledge to the flag for the liberty and justice for all, and what it means for that. And to hear you see the Egyptian people stand up and speak. There were doctors who were helping people who had been hit and beat, and there was nurses, and they said, I'm not leaving the square. I don't plan on going until he steps down. I will die here because I don't want my kids or my grandkids to grow up in this dictatorship. We want a democracy. It was a feeling you couldn't believe, to be so close to see that happening. And I said, when I got on the ship, I just thought it was a normal protest. I mean, if you go down to Laguna Beach, there's protests there every week about the war, about this, they get permits again. So I just thought it was average, but to see that history was actually taking place, and then not to be there were people who actually got there, who actually went down the Nile and couldn't come back.
Wow.
And once everything was turned off, you couldn't, you had to deal only in cash. So all the credit cards you had wouldn't work, anything wouldn't work. They wouldn't take your ATM, so people ended up living in the airport and staying there. And eventually American airplanes came in. If you had a passport, they would fly you out, but and they would fly you to Heathrow. And if you know, London, Heathrow, then from London to New York, free of charge. All of the Americans and British people and all those things. So it was amazing. And now what's going to happen is that this is expected to infiltrate or go over throughout the world, starting in all the Arab nations. If I pronounce it, it's already happening. The guy set himself on fire there. That was the first, and it's all happening through social media, because they're still using their phones. The doctors and then people that use their phones passing this information around. So as we know, they're protesting today right now in Iran. And basically dictatorships, this is the worst thing that could ever happen to the Middle East. And if you study your history, that's basically where things kind of start and just can go forward. So what I'm saying is we need to be very thankful to be here, that you can practice any religion. We have saints in here practice that we have. People who believe in God. You can do what you want to do, go where you want to go. One of the things in Egypt, it is very, very rich. 20% of people own all of the money though, but it's so poor that people literally live in the cemeteries. They just pack up and just live there with tents. That is actually a tourist attraction. And people go and call it the city of the dead, because there are people so poor, and even after those 30 years, it still has not recovered financially, because that's just the way it is. It's run by a dictatorship, and money is kept within. 80% of people keep all the money. So I said, whenever you say I pledge allegiance to the flag, and liberty and justice for all, remember those words ring true.